Hey, what's going on? Today I'm gonna show you how to change oil and oil filter on 2006 Honda Ridgeline. I think it's gonna apply to Honda Ridgelines from 2006 to 2013 or something like that. It's a very simple process. I'm sure there's a lot of videos in YouTube already. I'll just show you how to do, how I do it. And you have to change oil on Ridgelines. Some people gonna recommend every 3,000-4,000 miles. In my opinion, every 5 or so thousand miles is fine. You don't have to do it more often. You can if you want to, but Honda engines are really good, so if you change it every 5 to 6,000 miles, you'll be fine. And anytime you change oil, just look at your oil, see what kind of condition it's in. Of course, if it looks bad, if it's always dark, smells bad, then change oil more often. First thing I recommend is turn your truck on, let it run for some time, make sure engine gets warm. The reason for it is, as you can see, this one is on a pretty warm now. The reason for it is you want, when you're gonna drain the engine from used oil, you want to make sure as much of it gonna come out, or the bad oil or old oil gonna come out, and when you put new one, there's not gonna be much mix between new oil and old oil. Good thing with Ridgelines, you don't have to jack up the truck. The clearance that you have should be enough to drain the oil. First thing we'll do is I'll find the drain plug on Honda. Here's a drain plug. It's actually very easy on Honda, because even here it says engine oil, to make sure no one confusing it with transmission casing or something. But like I say, it says engine oil here, and the bulb is right here. So first thing you have to do is open this bolt, or unscrew that bolt. So I use a socket wrench, and the size is 17, double check, yep, 17 millimeter. Now to me, I don't know about you, but to me it's tough. Usually it's tough to unscrew it like this, so I'll try to get some additional pipe or whatever put here to have more leverage and try to unscrew it. Unfortunately, there's not much room to put some bar or whatever like this into that socket wrench, so I'll try to use a hammer. You'll see that's gonna work to loosen the bolt. Be careful, I just burn myself a little. Make sure you're aware that all these parts are hot, so don't touch them. There you go. I just loosen it, so it's going now. And now, make sure it's open. Nope, it wasn't open. Make sure you drain whatever is open and don't have anything there. Now it's time to completely unscrew that bolt. Like I say, I'm not a fan of the way they position the bolt. Try not to burn myself, but I'm gonna open this bolt more. Oil might be hot, so be careful. I'd recommend giving it at least 5 minutes or so to make sure all bad oil or old oil drains. Even when it's gonna be dripping, still let it all drain. Okay, about 15 minutes or so later, you don't really see any oil. Once in a while it's still dripping from engine, but not much. At this time I'm gonna find that bolt somewhere here. Make sure anytime you change oil have some rag or something nearby, because there's a good chance you'll get some oil on your hands, or even better, use gloves. So I hand screwed the bolt in. Now I'm just gonna use socket wrench to tighten it up. Just make sure you don't have to put too much effort, or you don't have to use hammer or whatever to tighten it up. You don't need the bolt to be super tight here. Like that is good enough. So next step is to get the filter. I like where Honda generally puts the filter, so it's right there. I don't know if you can see from here. There. So you could either get from under the car, or you can get it from here. To me it seemed like from here will be easier, so I'll move that drain tray over there under here, and we'll continue. If you don't have any tools to open the oil filter, I think the best access is from here, because you could potentially use two hands and get a pretty good grip to unscrew it. If you do have proper tools, you could try from under it or also from here. So first I'm gonna try to do it with my hands. Or hand, we'll see. There is some oil on the filter, so it's not gonna be easy. I'm gonna get some gloves and I'll try to do it with gloves. And it worked. Like I say, I like the way Honda positions their filters, because you could get good access, a good grip. So pretty much you just unscrew the filter. It's leaking some oil now. Just keep going. Only bad part is you'll get gloves or hands dirty this way, but you could continue to unscrew it with some rag. You don't really need. You can just touch it from this side. If it falls down, if the filter falls down, it'll be okay. Here's a little bit of close-up of the filter. I mean, of the filter access. Not sure if you can see it good. Yeah. So the next step is get your oil filter and oil. There are different brands. What I usually get is I get synthetic. This truck has 230,000 miles on it. So synthetic I get is 1030. Sometimes I believe I've seen 1040. I never seen like 2050 or something, but generally if you have higher mileage you want to get bigger numbers. And like I say, I always use synthetic. Only time I don't use synthetic is if I have a car that's burning oil or leaking oil and I don't have time or don't know how to fix it, then I'll just use regular oil, because in those cars where oil disappears I try to change oil like every 3,000 miles. So that's it on the oil. As far as filter, my personal favorite oil filter is K&N, and the reason I use K&N is because they have, I'll show you, this right here. So it just gives you more ways to unscrew the filter in case it gets stuck. So you can just put socket wrench here or wrench and you'll be able to unscrew it like that. As far as prices, I believe that's like one of the more expensive filters. My advice is anytime you go to a local auto parts store to buy all that stuff, just see what kind of deals they have. I believe when I got this together, I think it was about $33 or so, but their prices changes like every day they have different specials. But like I say, never buy those two separately, always look for some kind of combo special or combo deal. We already drained the oil, so next step is to put in oil filter. So that's my oil filter replacement. What I generally do is extra step to make sure oil not gonna be leaking through the oil filter area is just put your finger in the new oil and I'm just gonna pretty much just do like this. Make sure the seal gets kinda oily. It will possibly prevent oil leaking from that area. And now you'll just have to screw in this new filter. Hopefully you can kind of see it. That also has to be hand tight. You don't need to over tighten or anything. Okay, so next process or procedure is, like I said, make sure this part is hand tight, and now we just have to fill in the oil. So now we have to fill in the oil, which is right here. oil capacity on this car is 4.5 quarts on this truck, and this one has 5 total. It has measures on the side, so make sure you fill, when you fill, leave about this much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, leave about this much, and then check your oil. We'll do that a bit later. I always miss when I fill. Actually, I'll see if I have filler. I found one. Just make sure it's clean. Especially make sure there is no like metal particles or anything inside. Because if metal gonna get through, you could destroy the engine. Pretty much just make sure it's clean. So we're gonna fill it now. Okay, should be good. But like I say, always check oil anyway to make sure you get the right amount. If you put too much oil, it might damage seals and eventually you could have issues with oil leaking, so make sure you put the exact amount. Now we have to check the oil level, and it's gonna be right here. First you're gonna wipe it clean. You might wait a minute or two to make sure all oil you just put in gets an engine in the right places, and then check what the level is. And it shows pretty much perfect level right here. Now if you wonder what to do with old oil, pretty much all, at least that I know, AutoZone, Advanced Auto Parts, they're gonna take your used oil. Just make sure what you could do is, like, if you're not gonna use any of that leftover, you can just put oil here and give it to them, or go back to the store, tell them you have used oil, and they'll take care of you. Or you could find any car that might need some little bit more oil, and you can add there, and then use this container to collect old oil. Generally, if you have a good drain canister, whatever it's called, container, if you have a good drain container, you're gonna have like this stuff. Like, it'll be, the better one you have, it'll be easier to drain oil, and it'll be a bit not as messy. So next step is pretty much it. I usually, after I change oil, I'll let the truck run for a minute or two. But that's pretty much it. You're all done. Obviously, once you're done, clean after yourself. But okay, I'll show you how to reset the service due soon. Yours might have service past due. It doesn't really matter. So to reset it, you have two buttons here: set, select, and reset. With select one, switch to oil life to service. Hold that reset button for about 10 seconds. Let's see. Maybe it's a bit more than 10, but see, it says maintenance reset. It shows no. Just select one. See if it changes to yes. Now press the reset. see that oil life, now it's at 100% again. And now you can use select to put whatever you want. I generally like to put my mileage on the screen. Now you're all set and the light not gonna bother you again, your oil is changed. Now that's it, that's pretty much how you change oil. There is nothing advanced. Overall it's very simple procedure. Usually some places charge $20-25 for oil change, some charge 50, depends what kind of oil you use. I personally always change oil on all of my cars because it's easy and it's good when you do, you know that you're not gonna mess stuff up. I don't really trust all those mechanics wherever you take your truck or car to, so try to do it yourself. If you have any questions, post, write comments, share, like, whatever. If you have any questions, let me know, just post and I'll get back with you.